What's going on, YouTube? Happy Monday to everybody. RDAP Dan here, Federal Prison Time. Hope you guys are having a good week, or hope you guys had a good weekend. We are going to jump into this video here in a couple of seconds, and we're going to be talking today about what causes more anxiety, the first day of prison or the last day of prison. And I can really only speak for myself, so we're going to try to keep it to I statements. But we'll give you guys a few minutes to join us. For those of you that are not on yet, we just sent out the text message about 5 minutes ago, so hopefully everybody has the text message. And do me a favor while you're waiting. What's going on, Kevin? Hey, bud. While you're waiting, do me a favor. If you haven't already subscribed to our channel, now is a great time to go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Also, if you want to receive our text message notifications, completely free, unless you have some crazy text plan that you pay for incoming text messages. But I think just about everybody in the galaxy has free text messaging. All you need to do is text the word YouTube to 76626, just like it tells you to do in the top left of your screen. That will put you on our notification text messaging to make sure you are up to date. What's going on, Jeremy, Marianne? How are you guys doing? Welcome, welcome. We got CJ over on the keyboard behind us, making sure that all of the notifications go out there. So we'll give you guys about another 30 seconds here, and we'll jump into it. Drink some water. Anybody do anything fun this weekend? Anybody freaking out this weekend? What did we do this weekend? We didn't do anything, did we?
I went for a run. You slept.
CJ went for a run. I had a busy Friday, so I took advantage of this weekend and rested up a little bit. CJ likes to pick on me for that. He went for one run since he's lived here, and now he's like Mr. Marathon. Marianne's freaking out. Well, you got to make sure you stay in contact with us so we can help you not freak out. It's kind of weird looking at myself in the background. All right, so let's kind of jump into today's video. What's worse? What's more fearful? The first day of prison or the last day of prison? And before we jump in, let me read some of these messages. That's a no-brainer. First day. Well, Chrome, you're looking at like, a gazillion years. But, and you're probably right. The anticipation and the fear of going into prison, I would say it's a different kind of anxiety versus getting released from prison. I know for me, getting ready to go to federal prison, thinking about my first day, my first hour, my first week, my first month, it felt like the beginning of an endless journey, really. It felt like no matter how short your sentence is, whether you have a 12-month sentence, whether you have a 5-year sentence, whether you are somebody like Chrome, who's in the room right now, who ended up serving about 17 years. Regardless of what sentence is being imposed on you, you're only able to handle the amount of pressure that is given to you. So to each person that's going through this, it probably feels somewhat similar at the time of the event taking place. For me, knowing that I was looking at a max, the most they could have given me once I took my plea bargain, the most they could have given me was 60 months. And it sounded like the end of the world. Like, it literally felt like there's no point. Everything should stop. Businesses should close. Schools should close. The government should shut down because Dan Wise is going to federal prison. That's part of the reason why I created that first video about myself going into federal prison, which is kind of what started the whole YouTube channel for me anyway. And all of that anticipation leading up, the weeks, the months, the hours, the sleepless nights, the not knowing what was next, the not knowing what prison's actually going to be like. How am I going to be perceived in prison? What are the sleeping arrangements going to be like? What are the bathrooms going to be like? Am I going to be taking showers in front of a bunch of people? Are people going to be staring at me? Are people going to make comments at me? Am I going to have to defend myself? You have all of these thoughts and worries that go through your mind. And it's definitely, your mind can be your worst enemy when you're preparing for anything like this. Federal prison, state prison, anywhere you do not want to go and you're being forced to go. I would go to assume that your mind is going to just go crazy because you're losing control. You can no longer control the situation. You have lost control. Mayday, mayday. Code red. My mind has lost complete control and I do not know what to do about it. Well, as you guys know, luckily, from making so many videos, hopefully, even though you guys are fearful and terrified and anxiety ridden, you guys should have some sort of solace or a little voice in your mind that's saying, okay, we've watched enough of Ardap Dan's videos and we found other prison consultants' videos, and we've seen him interview people on here that have been through it, so it's not like it's only his point of view. A lot of people get through it and make it through it. What's going on? We got Chrome, we got Bonnie, we got Junior. We got a lot of people joining us tonight. CJ, if there's any questions, just shout out. We're going to try to keep this video around 20 minutes today. We're going to try something new by shortening the videos a little bit and see how that does. What am I looking at, CJ? Oh, I've got monitors everywhere. I've got monitors to my right, monitors to my left. I got a monitor headache. So let's talk about the last day of prison. Let's just kind of jump. Let's kind of fast forward to that. Everybody thinks, I can't wait to get out of prison. I can't wait to get out of prison. Granted, yes, the anxiety of going home and the thought of going home is a really good feeling, but it is anxiety. It is fear. It is uncontrolled thought processes. The closer you get, the less prepared that you've made yourself as you embark on this end of your journey, getting ready to leave the prison system. If you're not 100% prepared, getting ready to go home can also be a very daunting experience for some people more than others. And I've seen some horror stories of people that basically didn't want to leave, doing what they could do to either come back, would violate the halfway house intentionally to just return back to prison. Saw that happen more than one occasion. What happens is as you get ready, as you get closer and closer, you start thinking about what is it going to be like when I get home? Not necessarily like what's going to be the new iPhone or what TV shows do I need to catch up on. For those of you that aren't going to prison for a long period of time, that's not going to be your concern. You are going to be concerned about going back to home because you are going to be concerned with what type of jobs are going to be available for me. Maybe you need to find a new place to live. How hard is it going to be for a felon? How am I going to explain this to people that I haven't seen for a long time that I was in federal prison? How are they going to perceive me? How am I going to re-engage with my children? How am I going to get back into my family life? How am I going to be the supporter of my family again? What do I need to do to get my driver's license? What is the halfway house going to be like? I hear all these horror stories about the halfway house. Is it really that bad? It is. It really is that bad. The halfway house is probably one of the most negative experiences you more than likely will have through the federal prison system is the actual halfway house itself. So prepare. The problem is lack of preparation is just going to leave you wide open to deal with nothing but anxiety, fear, anger, sadness. All of these emotions, because you haven't chosen to take complete control, you're leaving all of this stuff open for grabs from where it's going to come from in your mind. And we all know that our minds are able to intensify thoughts and feelings, making them feel, in most cases, much worse than they may really be once we face the reality of what we're facing. So how do you prepare to go home? How do you prepare for federal prison? So this is what we preach. This is what we talk about. This is why we have the team that we have. This is why Jenny Good works with us. This is why CJ Johnson works with us. This is why Angela works with us. This is why, and we just brought on the substance abuse, Denise, correct? No, Diane. This is why we brought Diane to help with the substance abuse sections of things. We have every area covered from the time that you're getting ready to enter into the prison system to what you can do to get released from the prison system in the best possible situation. The problem is a lot of people don't take it too serious until things are a little bit too late. And Chrome is back. What's going on, Dwayne Bishop? Dwayne Bishop did almost 2 years. We got Chevy. Chevy's in the room. Chevy just lost at trial. So Chevy Chevy's a different situation, and we're going to be hearing from Chevy. Chevy, I don't know if Jenny's already reached out to you, but Jenny is trying to get a hold of you to, so Chevy, if you could email Jenny at ardapdan.com, because I know you have like several different phone numbers going on there right now with everything. But if you could email or text Jenny at ardapdan.com, maybe Jenny will post her email there in the room in a second. I just saw her pop in. Jenny, throw your email up there for Chevy. And I would like the two of you to get in contact, because I know Jenny's got a lot of questions for you, Chevy, that we can share with other people about what you learned going through the legal system. So I think that would be very helpful for so many people getting ready to not necessarily face trial, but just face the federal prison system in general. When I was preparing to go to prison, really the only thing I prepared to do was do nothing. I prepared my time as far, I knew I was going to be going away for X period of time, and I prepared a little bit. You know, I took care of some bank accounts. I made sure I had enough money put away. I made sure certain, like my animals were taken care of, but I did not do anything to prepare to try to find out what I could do to minimize the amount of time I was there and to maximize what I was going to do with my time while I was in prison. I had no plan. I didn't write anything down. I didn't make any notes. I didn't come up with any thoughts or any theories. I just kind of stared off into space because I allowed the thoughts to encumber my mind to the point where I could not focus on anything beyond a 3-second thinking span like a fucking goldfish. I would just recycle thoughts through my mind and get feared and get anxiety and lose sleep at night. Felt like my heart was just racing 1,000,000 miles an hour 24/7 to where I couldn't even catch a breath. If I had just taken some time, got my mind right, went and started talking to people that have maybe been through this, went out, and not to say it would have been easy because there wasn't a ton of people on YouTube, but doesn't mean I couldn't have found somebody. I could have went to my probation officer, said, is there anybody you can put me in touch with that has been through this system, just to give me some pointers as what I should be working on?
Sheila Flynn, she was at Alderson when Grimy was there.
Sheila Flynn, I was at inmate at Alderson from 4/20/2017 through this year. Captain Grimy. I told you that name was catchy. Captain Grimy was in charge. First day of prison was the worst day of my life. Sheila, we would actually like to hear from you. I'm in contact right now with a news station out of that area that would love to hear some information about what he was actually like, and if you had any crazy encounters with him, we would love to hear from you. CJ is going to post his email in the room right now for you to email him. And there it is. So Sheila, if you could email CJ if you want to, if you want to tell us stuff in confidence and you don't want to reveal anything, you don't have to do that either. But people need to know these stories. Guys, I've got a couple of videos on Alderson's women's prison with Captain Grimes, aka Captain Grimy, who had several encounters of sexual misconduct to where he's actually been arrested now facing time. So, you know, it's, and look, if you're a female and you're watching this video right now and you're getting ready to go to federal prison, do not freak out. From my understanding, Captain Grimy, it's not like he was pinning women down and forcing himself on them, but what you need to understand is in the federal prison system, when you are an inmate in federal prison, you do not have the ability to give consent to anybody for sexual relations. You are an inmate, you're federal property. So these inmates are held to these COs, correctional officers, captains, wardens, I mean, it's at all levels. They are held to higher standards to where they're expected to conduct themselves in a very professional manner. And when they break that code and they break and cross those lines, they are looking at prison time. So the reason why I stress that, women that are watching right now, not to say men don't have encounters as well, but mostly women are the ones that are going to encounter opportunity or options. Some of these women may have been totally for it. Maybe they've been down for a very long time. Maybe they liked the attention, but they are in no position to allow themselves to give that kind of permission. That's why people like Captain Grimy, he's lowest of the low because he's preying on somebody at their weakest. More than likely, if he were to approach the same person on the outside that was not under these confined straits, more than likely they would not give him the time of day from the stories that we've heard. So if you are a woman that faced some kind of a serious issue in federal prison, we definitely want to hear from you. People need to hear your story, especially what you're talking about right now, Sheila. We would love to hear from you. It's very hard to find on the internet. They definitely do their job in covering it up. Even the news anchor that I spoke to today has told me how hard it's been for her to find stuff until she found my video, and we've been digging and digging and digging. So, not to get too far off beat, because we're already 15 minutes in. That's how fast it goes. That's crazy. 15 minutes in. CJ's telling me you've only got 5 more minutes. So you guys can blame him if this video is cut too short. You can send him hate messages, whatever you want to do. We embrace the hate here at RDAP. I guess we don't. So the worst day, or the last day of prison for me. Okay, so the last day of prison. Most people, when they release from prison, they release very early. They release like right away in the morning. They go to geez, I forgot the name of it. It's been so long. Where you receive in and out, R&O. Geez, couldn't think of that. And you go there and you get dressed out. You got the clothes that your family sent in for you, or maybe you don't have a family sending you in clothes and you're wearing out your own. You know, you've got maybe a shirt you bought off commissary or a pair of shorts. You cannot wear out the prison clothes, meaning the prison issued clothes. You can't wear those out, but you can wear anything out that you've purchased off of commissary. So when I was getting ready, the last couple of days, we'll call it the last 30 days, time just stopped. I had all these thoughts in my mind. What am I really going to do when I get out? What am I really prepared to do? Yeah, I can go back into sales. I can go back into managing or opening or formatting something in with call centers. But is this really what I want to do? Why haven't I worked on a plan of action better than this other than pipe dreams? Don't get me wrong. There's going to be days where you're walking the track and you're going to be talking to people about how you're going to run these mega businesses. You hear guys that are going to go get into real estate. You hear guys that are going to go get into mortgages. You hear guys that are going to go start trucking businesses. You hear all of these great ideas. But what you don't hear is what's their plan? What's their roadmap? How are they actually going to facilitate this? What tools do they have? What skills do they have that they can demonstrate that they would be good at what they want to do? Well, the problem is in prison, it's easy to daydream. It's easy to get lost in fantasy land. It's easy to become anybody you want to become. But the reality is, returning back to the real life, the real world, the free world, is not going to be the same for everybody. Some people may go in with a giant support system. They may have friends, family, wives, children. Everybody may be there waiting for you to get out to make sure you land on your feet. And even in those situations, you can find yourself in a very tough bind because you're not accounting for what you need to do while you're in the halfway house. What jobs are you going to be limited to do in the halfway house? How limited are you going to be from seeing your family when you're in the halfway house? How far away from your residence do you live from the halfway house? Maybe you live too far away and the halfway house isn't even going to let you go home on weekend visits. Maybe they're going to say no. You're thinking, well, I've got my 10% home confinement date coming up. That doesn't mean they have to give it to you. These are things that you have to be prepared for. You have to be ready for any speed bumps and roadblocks that get put up in front of you, because if you're not, now your brain goes back into that survival mode where it starts freaking out and you have all these waves of emotions start flowing through you again because you're not prepared. Preparation for your release from prison should be starting right now with us. When I say us, myself, Jenny Good, CJ Johnson, Angela, our entire team of professionals is here to make sure that we do everything from A to Z. Your personal narrative and your character reference letters are where it all starts. We've talked about these boneheads that have been going online and talking about RDAP Dan, which clearly, from what I can see, do not seem to be real clients. They seem to be either competitors or people from way back in my past that just don't like to see us doing anything good. There's always going to be people in there that are going to try to hold you back. And when people start hating you for what you're doing, you know you're making a difference. You know that you're getting through, because you saw it in Spider-Man. You see it in every single movie. With power comes responsibility. And with the power that we have to speak to you guys through our YouTube channel, with the power that we have to put you in a better position, with this amazing team of individuals that I have, I feel like I have a superhero team. I feel like I saw somebody posted something online today on one of these dumb websites about me, and somebody rebutted it, and they said it. Dan's team is like, I forgot what they said, but something very superhero-ish, to the point where the group of people we have here at Federal Prison Time Consulting, this is the type of environment that companies dream of. The type of people that we have that, excuse me, that pour their heart, souls, energy, effort into what we do, and how much they care. This is not, nobody here is just here to collect a paycheck. CJ, are you here to collect a paycheck?
No, I'm here to help people.
I mean, he said no, he's here to help people. But, you know, if I showed you CJ's paycheck, you'd probably be like, damn, I need to find CJ a job. Because we're just now starting to grow to a point where we can start taking care of the people that have been here from the beginning. And CJ and Jenny did not come to this to make $1 million. I can promise you that. Angela did not come here to make $1 million. Angela was an attorney who went to prison, who is no longer an attorney, who still works for a law firm, and she wants nothing more than to be able to help people not have to go through what she went through. So we've been extremely fortunate by having the best people on our side. So when Jenny's working on your personal narrative and your character reference letters, these aren't templates, these aren't form letters that we use for everybody else. This is her taking her time, getting to know you, understanding what makes you different, finding the questions to ask you in order to provide her with the tools to now present back to you and say, hey, this is what you need to focus on. This is the direction of your letter. This is what's going to make the difference the day you go to sentencing. Same thing with your character reference letters. We have people that take the time, put in the energy, put in the dedication, and the reward they're looking for is seeing you do better than what you would have done without us. That's been the whole goal. People helping people, community is method. And I think Jenny came up with a new slogan for us. What's our slogan, Jenny? Go ahead and throw it out here. You said it earlier today. I think Jenny's son helped her come up with this. And it's amazing because it really is what the core about what we're trying to do. Jenny summed it up in one sentence today on the phone, and I was pretty amazed by it. So she should post it any second. She's probably all giddy right now that I'm talking about it, because she loves when she has a good idea, and I agree with it. So yeah, when we see the haters out there, we high five them, because for every hater, man, there's 10 million happy, smiling people that are enjoying what we're doing. So go ahead, go Google RDAP Dan. If you see anything negative on there, go read it and post something positive that you've experienced with RDAP Dan, and let's kill the negativity with kindness. We don't need to talk bad about him. We don't need to throw rocks. Even if I knew who it was, and I do have an idea who it is, but it doesn't matter. I'm not going to go put them on blast because there's no point. But what I will do is kill them with kindness. There you go. Jenny just posted it. Let your attorney fight for you in court. Let us prepare you for the fight. I think that really sums up what we do. We're going to put that slogan on the website and some business cards. We're going to have some t-shirts that say that. But it's true, because your attorney is really doing everything to prepare you for court. The problem is you're walking into court winded. You don't know how to throw a jab. You don't know how to dodge. You don't know how to speak properly. You don't know how to put the right words onto paper. But you can if you allow us to guide you through this system. That's why we're creating the roadmap to success that Jenny's been putting hours and hours and hours a week into, and it's just about ready. We're already testing it with several clients, and we're already getting amazing results from a test program. So this program will be rolled out in a very, very short amount of time. So let's sum up this video. Let's wrap it up. Don't forget, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please go take a quick second, subscribe, like, share. If I've done anything for you, if anything that we have done has increased has decreased your anxiety or helped you sleep better at night, given you a better idea of what's coming, please go online and find the different spots where you can talk about this and post it, because you are going to help other people that are going through a situation similar to you. But if you do not share the information that is helping you, you're not doing anybody any good. You're creating You're part of the problem, not part of the solution, because just like you felt there's nothing out there until you found some of this information, and now you feel like it's increasing your opportunity, you need to promote that and spread that out there. You got to get rid of the cancer by putting out what we need to put out there, guys. So to sum it up, first day versus last day of prison, they both can carry a ton of anxiety, a ton of fear. It's different because everybody wants to get released from prison, but the closer you get, if you're not prepared to release, if you don't know what's coming next, you will be filled with anxiety of not knowing, and that is going to create the last 30 days is going to drag on. So start preparing now. While you're in prison, write everything down. Create goals every single day. You guys have seen Zachary Babcock on our show before. He's got a podcast. He's got a YouTube channel. He's got a Facebook channel. Go find Zach on my page. He's got a podcast all about empowering yourself by just putting words on paper. Write down your goals and then commit to your goals. That's what you need to do while you're in prison. Write down weekly goals and what you're going to do to better yourself. Make the goals attainable. And each goal that you attain, you'll find that the larger goals are starting to just automatically fall into place. Forget about immediate gratification. You have to realize that you're putting in work and effort now for something that might not pay off for 6 months to a year or 2 years down the road. Start changing the type of person you are, create new habits, create new thoughts, create new processes, change who you are, surround yourself with the type of people that you want to be, and eventually that will rub off on you and you will become a better person. That simple. All right, guys, we're going to, thanks, Chrome. Appreciate it. Chrome Vending. Go check out his YouTube channel. He's got an amazing channel, combination of starting your own vending business, jumping out of airplanes, doing pranks. He's got a little bit of everything on that channel. Fitness. The guy's built like a fucking brick house. He'd probably murder somebody if he was not such a nice guy. So thank God the giant Chrome is a really nice guy. He's like a big teddy bear. But that's all we got. Jenny, we have special module in the coaching program for reaching goals. I love to hear that. See, Jenny's she's on the same level. I didn't know Jenny had that in there, but she already knows where I'm going with things. So she's like precog in the future out here for me. All right, everybody. I'm RDAP Dan, Federal Prison Time. As always, people helping people. Community is method, one day at a time. Get out there, say something nice to somebody, do something good for somebody. Somebody gives you a bad look, just smile back. Kill them with kindness. They'll think about it later on tonight. All right, guys, I love every single one of you, and I will talk to you soon. Peace.